All right, I've got a couple big announcements for you guys. Number one, PFF's player prop tool is now available on the web for all PFF Plus subscribers. And number two, PFF Plus is 40% off right now. If you use the promo code BLACKFRIDAY, you get all of the same data, grades, and analytics that all 32 NFL teams use, all 136 FBS teams use. As well, you get access to our 2026 NFL mock draft simulator, that world-class player prop tool that can help you nail all of your bets, and of course, the best fantasy football tools on the planet as well. Again, 40% off PFF Plus right now when you use the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. Next game that we got in the Big 12, we got TCU beating number 23 Houston 21-14, and Houston officially is out of contention for the Big 12 title game in a couple weeks. Let's go over the highest graded player, starting off with the TCU Horned Frogs. Highest graded player is their linebacker, Nnamdi Obiazor, with an 82.6 grade. Running back, Jeremy Payne, 81 grade. Another linebacker here, and Caleb Elarms-Orr, 78.2. Wide receiver, Joseph Manjack IV, 77.1. Offensive tackle, Carson Bruno, 72. And Josh Hoover, the quarterback, with a 68.4 grade. Let's go over to Houston with their highest graded players in the loss. Quarterback Will James with an incredible 91.8 grade. Edge rusher Eddie Walls III, 79.3. Rook Brown, the corner, 74.7. Wide receiver Amari Thomas, 67.7. Defensive tackle Carlos Allen Jr., 66.8. And Connor Wigman, the quarterback, 67.2 grade. Dalton, what told the story in this game?
Boy, Houston's just got to be kicking themselves. Their defense played plenty well enough to win this game. You look at Will James, 2 interceptions and a forced fumble. It's just unbelievable stuff from him. And Houston only gave up 3 points after the first quarter of this game. And those 3 points were actually a result of a big punt return from Jordan Dwyer that set up TCU in really good field position. So their defense after the first quarter was lights out. But you look at think about all of these missed opportunities here for Houston. Okay, number one, 4 for 17 on third down. Not going to get it done. Only scored twice on 5 TCU turnovers. Okay, Josh Hoover was turning the ball over, especially in the second quarter of this game. Couldn't take advantage. They drive down to the TCU 1-yard line. Connor Wigman throws an interception in the end zone. Strange sequence where after the Will James forced fumble very late in the second quarter, 48 seconds to go, 2 timeouts. Yes, the ball's inside your own 20-yard line. And Willie Fritz opts to take a couple of knees to go into the half instead of staying aggressive and trying to maybe attack on some points at the end of the first half. Then you have a couple of opportunities to tie this game. 2 missed field goals in the fourth quarter. It just felt like at every turn that Houston could have turned this game in their favor. And credit TCU's defense for standing up when it mattered most, for sure. They were really good in run defense. We're going to get into that in a second. But Houston had a million opportunities. And they fell behind early. They were behind early, but they had a million opportunities to take advantage of TCU mistakes, or they were moving the ball and they just couldn't finish drives. I think they're going to look in the mirror more so than anything that TCU did to them and go, man, we really blew a lot of opportunities in this game. I mean, you just talk, again, a missed one at the 1-yard line, not staying aggressive at the end of the first half, 2 missed field goals, TCU officially 4 turnovers, and then you had the turnover on downs at the end. They got the stop that they needed, right? TCU going for it on 4th and 1, going for the kill, and Houston got that stop. So to me, this one really not at all on Houston's defense. They just offensively did not take advantage of any of the prime opportunities that they had to take advantage of this game.
Yeah, by the way, I misspoke earlier. 17-14 final score, not 21-14 TCU. And you're right, Dalton. And I want to shout out the TCU defense in this one. So really, I went into the preview talking about Connor Wigman. He's the lowest graded quarterback out of over 150 quarterbacks in the country. Lowest graded one in the nation against the blitz. And TCU blitzes at a top 15 rate in college football. I thought that would be the biggest issue for Houston in this game. Turns out it was the complete opposite. TCU barely blitzed Connor Wigman in this game, and he struggled when he was not blitzed in this one because he had a 44.3 passing grade when he was not blitzed in this game. When he was not blitzed, 8 for 20 for 92 yards and 1 interception with only a 58% adjusted completion rate. They sat back in coverage far more than I expected TCU to do so in this game. They only blitzed Wigman on 10 of his 34 dropbacks, and it worked, honestly. So Dalton, it almost felt like Houston prepared all week for TCU's blitzes. So when they didn't blitz ultimately, it felt like they were not prepared at all for that. And Wigman, again, was the complete opposite of what I previewed in the show. So I apologize to Houston if they watched the show and said, okay, we got to prepare for that. I led you guys astray, obviously, in this one, because my stat that told the story was Connor Wigman and how bad he was when he was not blitzed in this game. I believe he had like an 80 passing grade when he was blitzed and only a 44 passing grade when he was not blitzed in this one.
There are certain times with a quarterback that likes to do two things. Number one, get rid of the ball quickly and get it to his first read, or take off and scramble. What you can do then, the idea of what you're talking about, on top of just breaking the tendency and making Houston change what they wanted to do on offense, was make Connor Wigman hold the football.
Yeah.
Make him stand there and hold it. Fine, go ahead. Get to your second and third read. Challenge those tight windows. This has been the problem for Wigman all year. Now, has he had good games? Absolutely, but only 2 games this year with a passing grade above 65, Max.
Yeah.
And generally what you see with Wigman, along with their pass protection, which is suspect, against this offensive line, you don't really have to blitz. You can if you want to, but you don't really have to win that battle. And the funny part is TCU didn't get a single sack in this game. They said, we're going to sit back and make him hold the football. We're going to make him beat us. And they felt like he couldn't do it. And you know what? They ended up being right. Only 15 to 29 overall. And like you mentioned, struggled against standard coverages because there was just nowhere to go. Only completed 1 deep ball on the day, and that was actually to Dean Connors. So they really weren't completing anything on the outside that was going to hurt TCU. He obviously did some good things scrambling. He was their leading rusher in this game. Wigman's been running well all year, but I kind of like it. I like the tendency break there of TCU going, you know what? Stand there and throw the football.
Yeah.
We don't think you can do it. And Tanner Koziol only had 2 catches in this game. Amari Thomas didn't take over like he's done in a couple of games in the past. And the other problem for Houston was they were in too long of situations. I'm going to get into the run defense right now. My most impressive, those 2 linebackers that you mentioned, Nnamdi Obiizor and Caleb Elarm-Zor, they were outstanding. Elarm-Zor, how about 16 tackles, 9 stops, and a 91 run defense grade, 9 positive grades in run defense in this game. Obiizor, 8 tackles, 3 stops, only allowed 2 catches also for 10 yards in coverage. He had an 81 run defense grade himself. You could feel from the very beginning of this game, those 2 linebackers in total control of everything in front of them. Dean Connors, 12 carries for 75 yards sounds great, right? That sounds pretty darn good. That's over 6 yards a carry. 54 of those yards were on 1 carry in the second quarter. They actually came on a 3rd and 8 that TCU just never saw coming. They didn't think they were going to run the ball. Other than that, 11 carries, 21 yards. That's a win. You hold Dean Connors to just 1 big run the entire game, and you make Wigman beat you. I think that was the entire point of this whole game plan from TCU. We're going to make Connor Wigman stand there and beat us from the pocket with his arm. Couldn't get it done, and then even in the moments when he did get it done, they missed 2 field goals in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Just could not come through and execute when it mattered most, Houston. And you mentioned it, the inconsistency of their passing game, which really has been there all year, despite all the success they've had. But if you hold this team down running the football by design with Connors especially, you got a good shot to shut them down on offense.
Yeah, so obviously it wasn't a great day for TCU's offense in this one, but I still want to shout out the true sophomore running back for them, and Jeremy Payne with an 83 rushing grade, 18 carries for 103 yards with 82 yards after contact, 5 broken tackles for a 28% broken tackle rate, also had a 15-yard catch in this one too. Wasn't a great day overall for Josh Hoover and the TCU receivers, but Jeremy Payne kept them on schedule in this game. And in a defensive slugfest like this, your running back having a day like that led TCU to ultimately winning this game against Houston.
A couple other guys to shout out here. Jordan Dwyer with 2 huge plays. One, the touchdown in the middle of the end zone on just a spectacular throw from Josh Hoover. Also, the big punt return to set up TCU with good field position for the game-winning field goal. And then, how about a Joe Manjack revenge game? 8 catches, 73 yards, and an 82 receiving grade. Good stuff, as always, from the TCU receivers. All 3 of them, those 2, and Eric McAllister. McAllister with a touchdown early also. Those guys are really good against a really good Houston secondary secondary in this game. But no, this is a big result. Again, you talk about the Big 12 race, and that's kind of what we're in the heart of right now. They're out of it, but it's been a really darn good season for them. They've exceeded Houston has still exceeded every expectation we've had of them, and obviously just come up a little bit short. But this is a football team that's learning how to win. The defense is outstanding, and Willie Fritz should get a lot of credit for the progress he's made with his team in year 2.
I mean, back-to-back 4-8 years for Houston in 2023 and 2024. Now an 8-3 record overall this year. So yeah, absolutely a great year. They've doubled their win total from the past 2 years. So yeah, great job by Willie Fritz. And how about this, Dalton? Houston bringing in the number 2 quarterback in America in high school football, Keyshawn Henderson from the city of Houston as well. He's the number 4 overall player in the class going to Houston next year.
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, you look, they're playing Baylor next week. All right, that's still something to get yourself to 9 wins, and then you get a bowl game. I mean, if you would have told me Houston even had a shot at a 10-win season this year, I would have called you crazy. Really, this is one of the biggest surprises in college football. The number of games this team has won, and Willie Fritz, you mentioned it, doing an unbelievable job in recruiting. And now on the field with the games that he's winning, this team might be here to stay. And you know they're willing to spend the resources too.
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of Willie Fritz. He was an incredible coach at Tulane, obviously in 2022 and 2023. Took over Houston, went 4-8 in his first year, but he has them rolling right now. And yes, it was a tough loss against TCU in this one, and Houston is now out of Big 12 contention. But like Dalton said, none of us thought Houston would be in Big 12 contention with only a couple weeks left to go in the season. So a lot of great things happening with that Houston program right now. And like I said, Keyshawn Henderson getting into that program next year too. One of the highest rated recruits that Houston's ever brought in, maybe the highest rated recruit of all time. Honestly, him and Ed Oliver might be the 2 highest for them. But that's the future looks bright for Willie Fritz in that Houston program right now. But they and Cincinnati are now officially out of Big 12 contention after both losing this weekend, and a big win for TCU as well.